This is 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
This is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Dan Walker-Smith, and today I'm joined by Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hi, Dan.
Alice, you've got some news about a media blackout in an English town, right?
That's right, a media blackout. That's a ban on all media. It's happening at Bournemouth University on the south coast of England.
OK, so there's no media anywhere in Bournemouth?
Well, it's not a complete media blackout. The ban is just affecting hundreds of university students as part of an experiment to see how they react without media.
Aha! OK, well, before you go on, I've got a media question for you. According to the latest Facebook figures, how many active Facebook users are there in the world? Is it A, 300 million, B, 500 million, or C, 800 million?
Oh, I've just recently seen that film about Facebook, so I'm going to guess 800 million.
OK, top number there. Well, we'll see if you're right later on in the programme. Now, Alice, tell us a bit more about this experiment.
Absolutely. Well, the experiment's called Unplugged, because the people who volunteered have been asked to unplug their media devices, such as laptops, phones and TVs, for 24 hours. And they're not allowed to listen to the radio or read newspapers either.
OK, so no access to any media. But 24 hours doesn't seem like a very long time.
No, it doesn't. But some of the volunteers have found it really difficult, as you can hear from one of the guinea pigs in the experiment. By the way, a guinea pig here is a strange term for describing someone who takes part in a new experiment or test. They're usually little furry animals, a bit like short-eared rabbits, and make very nice pets. But in this case, it means someone who takes part in an experiment. This is one of the guinea pigs, Charlotte Gay.
It's been a real struggle, to be honest. Even here in the student union, you have to literally shut down and try and avoid all contacts with media. It's really difficult.
So our guinea pig Charlotte there said it was a real struggle to avoid all contact with the media. She said she had to shut down, basically just stop doing anything.
Yeah, the media's everywhere, so not surprisingly, Charlotte said it was really difficult.
OK, but how has this media ban affected the students' mental well-being, Alice?
Well, their mental well-being. You'd think 24 hours. How will they feel about themselves and their emotional health? Well, Dr. Roman Gerodimus is a media lecturer at Bournemouth University. He helped with the experiment, and here he is describing some of the students' symptoms.
They're reporting withdrawal symptoms, overeating, feeling nervous, feeling isolated, disconnected. They don't know what to do with themselves with their time. They're just going around the room or their house in silence, and they really hate that.
Wow, so it sounds like the media ban had a very negative effect on the students.
Yeah, Dr. Gerodimus said some students were overeating, they were eating too much food, and they were also feeling nervous and isolated. Isolated means lonely or detached from other people. They also felt disconnected, which is another word meaning detached or cut off.
Let's have another listen to the clip.
They're reporting withdrawal symptoms, overeating, feeling nervous, feeling isolated, disconnected. They don't know what to do with themselves with their time. They're just going around the room or their house in silence, and they really hate that.
So a lot of problems there in just 24 hours. And have there been any long-term effects?
Long-term effects, changes that last for a long time. Well, the experiment's only just finished, so we don't know the full findings yet. But let's hear some thoughts from another student, Caroline Scott, and also, afterwards, the voice of BBC correspondent Rory Ketland-Jones.
Yeah, it's quite nice to be totally separated for about 2 hours, I would say, maximum. Other than that, I would like to have my phone on me or the internet or something.
As a nation, we now spend half our waking hours using the media in some form. And these young people can't imagine being permanently unplugged.
So Caroline said it's nice to be separated from the media for 2 hours maximum, but after that she wanted her phone or the internet.
Exactly, as Rory Ketland-Jones concluded. As we spend half our waking hours, that's half the time we're awake, using media, a lot of young people can't imagine being permanently unplugged.
Well, there's just time for a reminder of some of the language we've come across today. Alice, could you help us out with those, please?
Of course, we had media blackout, unplugged, guinea pig, mental well-being, overeating, isolated, disconnected, long-term effects, waking hours.
And our question of the week: how many active Facebook users are there in the world? Is it A, 300 million, B, 500 million, or C, 800 million users?
Well, I guessed 800 million.
Yeah, you're actually a bit too high with 800 million. 500 million users at the last count, but that is rising by the day. So it could be 800 million very, very soon.
Amazing.
It really is. But I'm afraid that's all we have time for in today's 6-Minute English. So thanks so much for joining us, and goodbye.
Bye.
That was 6 Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.